Welcome back, everybody, to our second of three matches of today. The winner of this best out of three will be advancing into the main event. There is no final, so forget about that last section that you see on this bracket. This is round two, and this is where dreams are made or broken. We saw Team Dreams get sent home by ForLove in round two, or in round one, rather, the rematch. They were able to come back, win that despite losing the initial best out of three. I'm LD and joining me is GoDz. And GoDz, let's dive right into this. We are in round two. You can see where we are. The red area highlighted on the bracket. It is FL facing off against Flash, ForLove facing off against Flash. And let's talk a little bit about these two teams.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, teams who have looked strong so far. ForLove took a while to sort of get into reach their stride, get into it all. But once they got there, I mean, they looked strong. They lost the first, well, in theory, the first three games against Dreams. The series had to be replayed due to Dreams violating some rules. But then, after losing three games in a row to them, they turned it on, won the two games that mattered. And here they are in round two, looking to get into the G-1 league. The winner of this match will qualify. Flash, though, I mean, they just kind of dominated. So, I mean, we'll look at what's important for these two teams. But right now, I mean, I've got to say, Flash do have sort of I would say the mental advantage going into this.
Yeah, now the keys for this game, obviously there's no jewels in this match, so we can sort of ignore that, but I feel the other two really do apply. Stay disciplined and punish mistakes. Look, we saw some incredible aggression from Flash last game. You know, it talked about the Dagon for Tinker. He rushed a Blink Dagger as his first item. Normally something you don't see. Normally it's something like the Force Staff. Just get something that has some defensive capability. The Blink Dagger, very much an offensive item to pick up. And he used it very aggressively, and it worked beautifully in that game. That, as well as the Faceless Void, just getting a sort of a cheeky Dagon when the game ended. They picked a Pudge, too, in game number two, and they really dominated that series up against Noah's Ark from start to finish. They looked very strong doing so, but it's a similar to Team to Dreams in the sense that they are pretty aggressive. They like to go for hero kills, and they made it look easy in that series, but I do think this ForLove team will be a much tougher opponent. So for Flash, you know, it's a team where if you stay disciplined, you punish mistakes, and you're ForLove, you're probably going to be looking pretty good. We've pretty much talked about ForLove earlier, so if you ever want to sort of catch up and find a little bit more about that, we are going to record these pre-games and include them with each series for the VODs, and we'll probably try to do something even more expanded for the main event, at least do this level of sort of introducing you guys to the teams, introducing you a bit to their styles, and talking about what the keys are. But let's just dive in and talk about Flash, because this is the team, like you said, probably going to be the favorites, and even maybe heavy favorites coming into this series.
Yeah, they really entertained yesterday when they were playing against NA. NA, I mean, for most Western viewers, probably not too familiar with them, but they're a team who've had mixed results in the Chinese Dota 1 scene. They're by no means unknown. They've had some strong names come and go. They used to play with Nada, who's sort of a famous Chinese player. They're currently playing with two former World Elite members. They've had players go on to join teams such as ForLove, World Elite as well. So they're a strong team in their own right. They got taken down by Flash, and it was just a stomping. I mean, Flash Esports, they're a team who really like to sort of get off to a fast start. As soon as the gun goes, they are off and running, and they really look to be aggressive, get some strong early game heroes. Even when they went for that hard carry Faceless Void, the other four heroes were looking to apply as much pressure as possible.
Yeah, they're just such an aggressive team. And, you know, to me, I think the most interesting thing about that Faceless Void game was what we saw right at that first gank. Once Faceless Void hit level 6, he walked in and he could have instantly dropped a Chronosphere and gotten a single hero kill. But he was patient, he waited to catch two, and then they ended up getting a double kill off of it. So it was just nice patience from him. But using a hero that's normally not very aggressive in the early to mid game, the Faceless Void, and using it aggressively. So it is really a team that loves their hero kills and likes is very intelligent about going about getting them. You know, even when they ran the Pudge, they ran a Pudge Venomancer dual lane made to counter a Templar Assassin. Creative combo, but if you think about it, it really works. And I feel it's yes, it's a Pudge. It's kind of an aggressive here. We don't see a whole lot of him in competitive play aside from maybe Navi running him with Dendi, but it really made sense in that game. You know, you get the two heroes with the damage over time. You have a lot of chasing power. TA has very low range early on, so she can't really approach the creep waves. It was an aggressive pick, but it was one that really fit the game, and they made it work.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was a first pick Templar Assassin. It really is one of the strongest heroes in the current metagame, but they prioritized shutting it down, making sure it had nothing to work with. The TA got completely destroyed and never had any chance of coming back, and it just gave Puds this huge early game lead. And I mean, it really is what Flash Esports are all about. ForLove have to be really cautious that they get some strong laning heroes of their own, probably strong defensive ones. They don't want to be going too aggressive against a team like Flash Esports. I feel Flash are just a bit sharp with their teamwork and will be quick to punish any mistakes or any heroes out of position.
As our keys to the game for this one, for Flash Esports, we have dominate the early game and don't let it go late. And these two, to me, they really go hand in hand. You know, Flash, we
Yeah.
talked about their domination, their aggression early on, but they're also a team when you play such an aggressive style and the game goes later, it is easy to overextend, get caught out of position, and get picked off. And it's something we saw in the Gosu Cup Asia Grand Finals. There was only one game played. The second one was actually a forfeit. But Flash jumped out to a quick lead in that game. But as it went longer, as it went later, Orange just made better decisions and eventually were able to catch up and pull ahead and win that game. It was the only game played in that grand finals, but I feel ForLove similar in the sense that they make great decisions as the game goes late. So for Flash, not only do you want to get out to a quick start, use your dominant early game to your advantage, but then from there, make sure that you don't let it go too late because that's we saw it last game as well when they were playing. When they were playing against Dreams, they really punished Dreams in the late game for some bad decisions, and
Yeah.
that was what ultimately sealed the deal in ForLove's favor.
Yeah, I think For Lover, as far as I mean, they've been a team a lot longer. They'll make those late game decisions a lot better. I mean, maybe they haven't been playing Dota 2 as long, but when it comes to the late game decision making, remaining cool, keeping your composure, they'll be the ones better at doing that. I mean, For Lover, they're on a bit of a hot streak right now, but I feel if the pressure sort of gets up there in the late game scenario, they're not going to be making the same sort of calm, collective decisions that a team like For Love can make, especially now that For Love have brought in Banana, such a quality player, and he's sort of going to bring that Dota 2 experience. He's the one who's been playing a lot of Dota 2 over the past months, and he can sort of guide the rest of his team and sort of lift off some of the pressure for the rest of the players who are still adjusting, transitioning to the different feel of this game as a whole. So, yeah, Flash Esports need to sort of, I agree, need to end it early. Maybe at least not end it early. They have to get a really good lead early on, and then come mid game time, that's where they need to be sort of sealing the nail in the coffin.
You know, and I think the final point to be made here is that maybe maybe Banana's Prophet finally deserves a ban. And I'm wondering if Flash watched any of those games from the previous series, if they're going to be taking notes, if they're going to adjust their bans to suit their opponent, or if they're just going to be feeling very confident after that first game and just pick directly whatever they want to do and not worry too much about what they saw from 4 Love in the past. But I really agree with you. I feel Banana's Prophet it was, Banana as a player, very solid, but the Prophet pick, just a hero that does so much, and he clearly knows how to play it well in Dota 2. And our final key to the game, this one a little bit cheekier, but hook early, hook often. Pick that Pudge, have some fun with it, and this is something you and I talked about would be more relevant as a point if ForLove ended up taking the series. Pudge is the Chinese kryptonite. The win rate for Pudge against Chinese teams, especially in Dota 2, it's gotta be like 80, 90%, if not higher. Pudge just doesn't lose very often versus these Chinese teams, and ForLove have shown they can run it. So honestly, consider the Pudge. And with that being
Oh,
said,
yeah.
I think we are ready to jump inside the game.
Oh, yep, the game is looking to be well and truly underway. We're going to have Flash Esports start off over on the Radiant side, ForLove on the Dire. We've just seen ForLove in action. We saw Flash Esports yesterday. Henki Key, the former Aeon Esports player, the new captain for Flash. And I got to agree, man. Are we going to see that Pudge? I mean, it's the kryptonite for these Chinese teams. It has been for a bit of a while, at least in some scenarios. I mean, Navi went all the way to China, the WDC, and took down the eventual champions in one game using Pudge. I mean, they didn't win that series, but it was a hero that just catches them by surprise. Even when they expect it, they don't do well against it. So we'll see what Flash Esports want to do here. They've got the first pick, first ban. It turns out Naga Siren is still viable, is still a top pick because they're going to go right into it.
Whoa, really getting ahead of yourself there, saying it's still viable, still top pick. Of course it is, though. We've seen it be very successful. One thing I will throw out there is I've seen some teams even running her as a support at times. This is more Pinoy teams, but she's so versatile, just having the net, having the Riptide, and the ult. I mean, she doesn't have to be your one position hero. That much we know for sure. We saw it from LGD running the Morphling as the hard carry, running Naga as a hero who initiates, who sets up team fights back in the International too. And she offers you a lot of versatility. I don't know how I feel about first picking her though. The one thing I'll say is the changes to her attack, her base damage mean you can't get as many kills early. Her auto attacks don't hit nearly as hard. And more importantly, it kind of tips your hand as to what you want to do. Naga is not a hero like a Prophet or Rubik where you pick it and your opponents are like, well, we still have no idea. I wouldn't say it's an open book for Flash, but this is a pick where teams sort of know what they want to do to counter it. And it looks like FL are going to waste no time. ForLove, pick up the Chaos Knight, the Lina, a very powerful combo that could be used as a dual lane.
Yeah, and they didn't. I mean, this is interesting to see how they changed this. They actually picked Lena a lot earlier than they did in past games, and I think that has to do with how well Lena does against Naga Siren. I mean, having the Dragon Slave as well as the Light Strike Array, two AoE spells help really wipe out Naga Siren illusions quickly, and the buff Laguna Blade. I mean, that 90-second cooldown. It seems Lena has it almost every team fight
10
or every
seconds
gank that you want to
remaining.
do. Really a noticeable difference. The new Lena, we're going to see quite a bit of, I
5
feel,
seconds
especially with
remaining.
these strong sort of aggressive lanes with Chaos Knight also still being a top pick and Flash Esports, they're going to have to
Reserve
respond.
flight.
I just don't feel this is going to be a game for a Pudge. Just looking at the first two of ForLove series, this does not reek of a Pudge game. Maybe Flash Esports want to go for the Templar Assassin themselves and try set up a strong mid lane with a strong mid game with the Nagasar and the Templar Assassin, and maybe some kind of a team fight with an Enigma to
Reserve
combo with that
time.
Nagasar. But Nature's Prophet, there we go.
Radiant
Just looking to get
team
some
pick.
strong mid game sort of carry and pushing heroes.
Yeah, the TA neither banned nor picked. She was first
Disruptor.
banned. I forget if it was For Love or if it was
Dire
Dreams, but one
team
of those
pick.
teams was first banning it every game, and we never saw it slip into the pool. It's ignored this time. Instead, Disruptor is the choice. And Naga and Disruptor have some really cool combos. In the mid game, you sleep everyone, you drop the Static Storm and the Kinetic Field on top of the enemy heroes, and that's a very powerful team fight combo. Even in the laning stage, you have Net and you have Glimpse, a lot of ways to pull them back and trap them inside the kinetic field, as well as just having
10
great
seconds
initiation range.
remaining.
But with these picks, I mean, we already have our lanes sort of getting a
5
feel for them. It's going
seconds
to be Naga and
remaining.
Disruptor almost certainly laning together. But then the other two lanes, it's to be determined. Could be a
Reserve
Prophet jungle and
time.
two solos. Could be a Prophet soloing and then maybe another hero jungling, or some sort of dual lane. The options there are still pretty wide open.
Yeah, and the other big thing is this is a hero that Banana has been playing every game almost in Nature's Prophet, so he's going to be forced
Radiant
into something
team
different. We'll
win.
find out what other heroes he does have in his repertoire. Maybe it's going to be this Park ForLove take that up. Banana's almost always been in that jungle with the Nature's Prophet. I think one game he was in the side lane solo in their first matchup against Dreams, but Park getting very picked up very early here. This is, I mean, a hero who got some slight buffs as well with the recent 6.75 patch. So maybe, I mean, maybe slightly strong, definitely slightly stronger. How much stronger, we'll have to wait and see. But that Dream Call does last longer, and we'll see what Flash want to do to counter this, or at least to deal with this. I don't think Puck's a hero you have to directly counter. They're more
10
going to be
seconds
worried about what
remaining.
full love are going to pick up with these last two heroes. Maybe some kind of a carry or semi
5
carry of their own. So
seconds
far, they've only got the
remaining.
Chaos Knight. They're probably looking for some more damage in the form of heroes like Queen of Pain. Something to do,
Reserve
something
time.
sort of with some semi carry potential.
Yeah, Flash definitely needs a solo, at least one. It could be an offlane Prophet. In which case, I guess they need a dual lane. But that mid lane and then their off lane still could be up in the air.
Dire
I
team
like the
pick.
puck pick. I actually think it's a decent choice this game. The silence is really nice to make sure that Naga can't get her ult off. Also, the Dream Coil, good for canceling that Prophet teleport. If she can get a quick blink, Puck. The one concern whenever you pick Puck is his laning stage is not normally the best. He's not a really strong offlane hero, especially against something like Naga Disruptor. I mean, you can orb away, then you get glimpse back in, you get netted and just brought down very quickly with the Riptide. So I think against these heroes,
Radiant
running him
team
off
win.
lane is basically throwing away the puck.
Yeah, and I mean, I definitely agree there. I mean, you can put him mid, but then we're going to have to see ForLove pick up some kind of off lane hero of their own, which could work well for them because I mean, they haven't got a whole lot of damage coming out of the puck, so they're going to need some damage. But you can get that from some off lane heroes, heroes like Bounty Hunter, heroes like Broodmother, who can go into that off lane as a solo, can provide some additional DPS come mid game. I mean, Bounty Hunter just has DPS even without any sort of damage items. He can just go drums into BKB Vlads and still do quite a decent amount of damage there, or at least set up kills for the CK, the Puck, use that track for vision. So I mean,
10
for love,
seconds
I mean, they've got
remaining.
options here. They do need some more burst damage. I mean, Queen of Pain
5
is sort of the first
seconds
thing that comes to mind.
remaining.
I'd love to see some heroes like a Stormstrip, maybe even Tinker. They've used Tinker in the past. They used a Phantom
Reserve
Lancer, Keeper of
time.
the Light, dual lane before. So they're a team who aren't just going to pick the same things over and over again. I mean, I feel one of these last two heroes may be something that's a bit of a surprise, something a bit unconventional.
Except when they pick Prophet every game for Banana. But
Yeah.
aside from that, really slow in the second stage of bans. TA and then Leshreck quickly banned out.
Radiant
Reserve
team
time
win.
wise, neither a decent amount left in For Love, but Flash is dropping a little bit low. Interesting to see TA slip through the second stage of the bans and then still be banned out. There's a Bat Rider and a Venomancer both in the pool, both of which are pretty good against her. I mean, not hard counters, although the Bat can win a lane versus her. She would fill that need for Love to have some damage, though. And I mean, sure they've got the lead up, they got the Chaos Knight, but I feel like they just need that one more, Hero that can provide some burst. Against Naga, you
Yep.
really want to have that burst. Otherwise, she turns around, she drops the sleep, and then the fight goes the other way.
Yeah, no, I actually completely forgot about that tier in the pool, and they don't forget about the Tinker though. So Tinker gets banned out as well. So I mean, the sources of damage. I mean, for love, I mean that secondary hero of theirs. I mean, they have the puck, but that's not going to really be their two position hero. Chaos Knight could be probably the two position hero. They still need something to sort of take most of the farm. I mean, it can be a solo mid Queen of Pain with the CK Lena getting some farm as well, but most of those heroes where they'd go for have been banned out. Flash Esports sort of on point with their bans here. And I mean, what if Flash Esports want to get? They've got so far the Disruptor as support. We can see some of those big teamfight heroes being taken out with the Tidehunter banned out, with the Brewmaster, maybe a Sanking, maybe an Earthshaker, both still in the pool. Shadow Shaman, another support, which has seen quite a bit of play here. And maybe the hero that Flash Esports want to pick up.
There's an Enigma in the pool, and it's something I could
Oh,
see
yeah.
both teams having their eyes on right now. Especially Flash having the Naga already. I'm also... Oh, Tiny, maybe setting up a Wisp, which I don't think Wisp fits at all into this Flash lineup. It also will do a lot to deal with that Prophet as well. We saw ForLove try to go for what looked to be a Tiny Wisp combo last game. Or maybe that was game number 2, actually, facing off against Dreams. But Dreams picked the Wisp this time around, though. I just don't see any way to fit the Wisp into this lineup. So Flash, almost certainly not going to go for it. The other question for me is, how are they really going to lane against CK Lena? And on paper, Queen of Pain is decent against that lane, but we've definitely seen heroes like Queen of Pain just die, even having Blink against Chaos Knight Lena. It's a lot of burst. It can be a lot of chain stun depending on how lucky you get. And I guess it'll be Queen of Pain mid, but it's not a lane that she's guaranteed to win if they send that dual lane mid. Could be Quap there too. Quap actually does pretty well versus Queen of Pain because you can phase shift every time she throws a Shadow Strike in. Use that phase shift also to dodge auto attacks if you're really timely with that. And it's a Sven as the final pick.
Ooh.
I know this is a hero you're not a big fan of, although he got some buffs recently.
I like the new Sven. I like him as a carry. I hate support Sven. I like the carry Sven, or at least sort of a semi carry Sven.
I will say we saw TC have one of the most farm Svens I've ever seen, and they still lost to eHome in the Beyond the Summit World Tour. But that was before the buffs. The new Cleave has a really big AoE. It feels like you can hit pretty much everything with it.
Yeah, it's pretty big. It does do some decent damage here, but if that's the case, I mean, they're going to have to free up a lane for him, which could mean maybe the Naga Siren support you talked about, or it's just going to be a Nature's Prophet jungle. But even then, I mean, how do they lane this? Sven or Naga Siren, they can't really share a lane unless they're going some kind of tri lane. Maybe one of them solo mid. I don't know.
Is there any chance we'll see Flash giving ForLove a bit of a dose of their own medicine with the offensive tri lane? Naga Disruptor Sven, sure it's double melee, but you've got Net and Stormbolt. That could be pretty scary, and it's almost certainly going to be a tiny Wisp up there.
Yeah, I know. I definitely agree it works. And if Nature's Prophet is up against the puck in that top lane with an off lane puck, that's a lane which, in the bottom lane with the safe lane Nature's Prophet, that's a lane which Nature's Prophet should win pretty easily. I mean, the Treants can harass the puck and help last hit. Puck can not really last hit very well against a Nature's Prophet, but not going to be the case. It looks like Naga Siren is heading bottom. Quickly introduce the Flash Esports side. We have got Naga Siren heading bottom, ruining the fun perspective of an offensive tri lane. Possibly, at least. We'll see. Maybe they can go tri lane top with Naga Siren solo bottom. It's KS playing the Naga Siren. We're going to see the Disruptor played by MLG following him up. The Sven of Henkiki. It's a, insert groan here, support Sven. Queen of Pain at mid played by Awa. And then finally, Nature's Prophet, DSF, is playing him at the top lane.
Now, regarding the support Sven, the reason we bring it up is it really seems like IceFrog wants this here to be played as a carry. All of the buffs to Sven improves his carry potential, but his Stormbolt still has that same incredibly long 15-second cooldown. His mana pool still very poor. His int gain not very strong. He is a melee hero. His only real utility is Warcry, but if you want utility, there are generally better supports for it. That being said, it can be powerful, and they do have net to set some things up as well, so we'll see. It's going to be a tough tri lane. I mean, I don't really see anyone farming in this lane. Maybe we'll even see just some sort of cheeky, orb up onto, maybe into the tree line. Can you still, I don't know if you can in Dota 2, but I know in Dota 1, you can farm the Ancients, sort of sitting in behind the tree line. So maybe we'll see something cheeky like that from Puck. We won't be able to do anything in the lane, though. Stormbolt is available, and it's already orb picked up, so they could have gone there, but not going to in the end. And in fact, Lena almost dies. What the hell is that? Oh, the DD on the Prophet, bringing her very low to start this laning phase off.
That's gonna, I mean, it's gonna help Nature's Prophet a bit. I mean, he still doesn't want to go too close to this lane. Lena's gonna be dual laning at mid, but with that harass early on, that's gonna limit Lena's ability to harass this Queen of Pain. So that actually really helps out this Queen of Pain early on. Allows Queen of Pain to not have to worry about harass too much. It's actually Queen of Pain at mid lane who's being very aggressive harassing. Nature's Prophet's gonna TP in. This is gonna be a first blood, I'm pretty sure. This is a dead Lena.
One more auto attack. That's the first blood. Easy. Interesting, and they even sent 4 heroes mid, but I think now they might just smoke all the way towards top. If they could get a kill top, then they haven't won top at that point, but then they're looking good in top, they're looking good at bottom, or they just come right back mid for the wraparound. Oh, this would be a fantastic way to start the lane off. Blink in to the Stormbolt, the aggression from Flash Gaming. We expected aggression, but even for Flash, this is pretty crazy. 2 kills in 1 minute, and both of them happening mid. Now, the downside for Queen of Pain is there's so many heroes there that she's still only level 2, but up against the dual lane, getting a decent start and some gold as well. Here comes her bottle and her boots. I believe they're both hers. And 1 minute in, that's going to make killing her incredibly difficult.
Wow, this is like dream start for a Queen of Pain. I don't think I've seen a more farm Queen of Pain at just 1 minute into the game. And I mean, it's the early game aggression. They want to get off to a great start and de-warding this mid lane as well, denying Lena of some vision on that high ground. I mean, this mid lane is going fantastic. Bottom lane, I mean, sure, Nagasiren's been left alone without support, but that's against the Puck. Puck doesn't hit very hard. Nagasiren has a stout shield anyways. He can last hit perfectly fine against Puck. In fact, Puck only has a single creep kill to Nagasiren's 10, so this bottom lane, it hasn't even mattered that the supports haven't been there throughout this early game.
It does, and on top of that, you know, Queen of Pain's winning mid, like you said, the bottom lane, Naga doing absolutely fine. They are leaving Tiny alone top, but he's only 7-4, not even really getting all the last hits on this lane. That could be a bit of a concern. When you have a free farm lane like this, your other 2 lanes are struggling. You really do need to make sure that your free farm lane gets all the farm that it can. Still Tiny with boots up, Wisp getting a bunch of levels, or at least decent levels for a support in that safe lane, doing a lot of pulling. It's a really bad start for ForLove, but they do have this amazing mid-game lineup. So much team fight and so much reliable stun. A lot of chasing power. Great start for Flash, but the thing about Flash is they don't just get aggressive, get a couple kills, and then go farm. They keep on going, and that's what we're seeing bottom. They want to go on this bottom.
Mid lane, Lena lived on about 4 HP. Queen of Pain actually blinked in there. Queen of Pain gonna pay for it with her life, though. Unlucky. I gotta say, that was like pure aggression. He blinked in and he got a last hit on the Lena. It left Lena on about 2 or 3 HP. And then the chain stuns came in, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's just, for anyone who doesn't know, in Dota, there isn't a range of possible attack damage. So that's one of those situations where if it was just a point or 2 higher, if you roll the dice 5 times, maybe it kills them 3 or 4. A little bit unlucky. On bottom lane, there was a kill in the meantime, so it was a 1-for-1 trade. But you expect this Puck to die. You don't really expect Queen of Pain with that kind of a start to go down. And that's really going to help this dual lane out. Level 4 on Chaos Knight, 3 on Lena. The damage was initially done one way, but kind of turning this mid lane around on the back of that kill, and I think now they still have a good shot at killing Queen of Pain. In fact, she's going to be forced back. Chaos Knight thought about going, but not going to opt to in the end.
Yeah, I mean, if Queen of Pain had got that kill on Lena, I mean, they would have definitely lived because they needed that second stun to get the return kill on Queen of Pain. It would have been a completely different story here at mid, but it gets turned around, so ForLove in a much better position out this mid lane. CK's gone for a bottle of his own, so trying to get some farm using that. And look at this, Nature's Prophet using that cheeky little neutral spot there, just because he does not want to go up against his Wisp Tiny at top lane, so he's just trying to farm wherever he can on this map.
This is one of those silly things that just, it's so funny to watch, but it really does work as Prophet. And sure, you know, yes, you're leaving the top lane open, but you're also not dying, whereas we're seeing the Puck struggling. Gave up a kill bottom already, and level-wise, it's a level 3 Puck and a level 4 Prophet, so it's not even hurting him in the experience department either.
Yeah, it's looking okay for them. I feel Tiny's the hero that's okay to leave completely alone early. I mean, you can leave any hard carry alone for the first 5-10 minutes if you're winning the other 2 lanes, which is so far what's happened pretty well for Flash, and at least their off-lane solo, I mean, he's level 4, Nature's Prophet's level 4, so I mean, this is worth giving Tiny free farm for, rather than having that maybe that side lane solo hero who's still level 1 5 minutes in, who's only been able to maybe stack Ancients, get some runes here and there. Nature's Prophet's going to be able to have a decent impact on this game with all these levels, and we're seeing Flash. I mean, they're doing a good job at getting some farms, some levels on these supports. Sven's using these pulls. Well, he's up to level 3 with some boots. So, I mean, all these heroes on Flash getting some levels, some experience, and not allowing any to really fall behind.
Naga is still out farming, really dominating this bottom lane. And again, the supports have been doing a lot of pulling. We've seen Disruptor in the lane occasionally, but It just shows you the weakness of Puck as an offlane hero. If this is a Queen of Pain or someone who's a better harasser, Naga is not dying or anything like that, but she's struggling to farm. She's forced to buy more regen, and Puck very powerful in the mid game, very elusive hero, but not really a dominant lane controller. And Stout Shield with 7 armor. Good luck harassing with that low base damage, with that weak, piddling little attack, really. Honestly, I would love to see Puck's auto attack be a little bit stronger to sort of put him in that class with Queen of Pain, even heroes like Prophet. But that's neither here nor there. Guai is getting the levels to some degree, hitting level 4, and Flash, unrelenting aggression, they're going to smoke up and look to head mid. In fact, popping the war cry as they try to set up this kill, but it's kind of a bad time to go. The rune's about to spawn. Or maybe not, because Lina sort of walks in and out, dancing back and forth. Prophet TPing in. Prophet cancels that TP. Don't think the Dire had vision of it. They really want to go, and finally they catch the Lina and the kinetic field to set this up. Prophet TP's in. It's a trap, and it's 4 heroes and a 1-second stun. Not nearly enough. Lina goes down, but it is 4 heroes, so a lot being invested in just that support Lina kill.
Yeah, I mean, they're committing a lot. They want to make sure they get those kills, but the entire time, I mean, committing that many heroes to these kills is it's causing a lot of these ForLove heroes to get the XP and farm in those lanes. I mean, Puck's now up to level 4. You've got Tiny on top, who has been given free farm, and also more or less solo experience. Tiny's level 7 with a level 5 Wisp, so it looks like Wisp has been doing a lot of pulling, which is probably why Tiny missed some of those early last hits, but uh-oh, Puck, you gotta be careful, man.
Oh, this was a bit of a he almost got away there. I think they turned the sleep off a bit quickly, but maybe not. Glimpsing the Tiny back, he TP'd top bottom and then immediately countered. Now Chaos Knight comes in though, and he might even get a double. Chaos dropping low. Chaos taking a lot of damage. Reality Rift trying to find this kill. One more auto attack. The Snake is too fast for the horse. Look at that base move speed. Not able to in the end. The Cleaver will find him. Guai has managed to respawn during this time, comes back into the fight, dodges one auto attack from Queen of Pain, but now Queen of Pain doing the damage, blinking forward, wants this kill and should find it. Don't think Puck can survive. Actually, the tower doing a lot, and there's a phase shift, but not able to toggle it in time. Just not quick enough now to relocate. This one, you can't glimpse him back because there's no disruptor. He died, and now support Sven is going to go down 7-5. ForLove showing that they definitely have that counter gank potential.
Oh yeah, I mean, that worked out pretty well for them. Both teams trading kills, a lot of aggression, but that's the kind of aggression for Flash where they need to come out convincingly on top. They dived in it just a bit too far there for my liking, and they paid the price for it. Puck could have almost got the kill on that Queen of Pain with like you say, if he got that phase shift off, that was probably a dead Queen of Pain, and Puck would have lived through that one. So just a slight bit of delayed reaction there, but ForLove still in a good position here. Even with that was with Tiny being glimpsed back to the top lane, so he got glimpsed back top, but ForLove still did just fine in that team fight.
In fairness to this Puck, it's a level 1 phase shift, so I just want to make sure everyone knows that it's a 0.75 second duration. You can't just use it expecting the scream. You pretty much have to cast it like the second that you see the scream being fired off. Very difficult to do. There's no cast animation with that or anything like that, so not an easy kill to get, but or not an easy kill to dodge, rather. But Guai almost had it. In the end, yeah, I think it was a pretty good trade for ForLove. The one hero who has been ganking a lot is this Prophet. He does hit level 6 anyway. He's gotten some decent experience, but the Midas is not here yet. In fact, he goes back for boots, and now Wisp in a bit of trouble. Should most likely go down. No, Tether's back to Tiny. Avalanche in, toss as well, and relocating. Where did they go? Just slightly back, or did they relocate? No. What the hell is going on here? I'm so confused. Stormbolt catches 2. They're in a lot of trouble. Probably going to go down. Sprout doing the big damage, but Tiny surviving the tether stun. Somehow this Tiny is still alive. Beautiful Wisp control there. The orbs bouncing through. Even Queen of Pain is going to eat that stun, but just one hero too many. The ult comes through. Queen of Pain gets that. Now a double. 9-5, and look at the HP bars of Flash. 4 heroes at half health or below.
Yeah, I mean, one hero too many exactly, but now ForLove's going to have their little counter. They're looking to bring Chaos Knight in, but they get out. I mean, they're not going to lose any heroes for diving near a tier 2 tower. So Flash, I mean, aggression, early game aggression, I mean, paying off. They get out of there. They're still having Nagasaren farming at the bottom lane and getting some important kills on Tiny, and both kills going to the Nature's Prophet, who's getting close to a Midas here. So DSF, I mean, is going to be getting some decent farm up, can go straight into that mech afterwards if he wants to, and just get up those key items for his team.
Yeah, we're at a point now where Naga is the lead farmer in this game, probably going to be, I mean, it could be the Lincoln Sphere, it could be the Vanguard, we'll have to see which way he wants to go. In this game, it's not a bad game getting a Lincoln Sphere. There is a Chaos Knight, and that initial stun can really mess you up. Wouldn't mind seeing that. Laguna Blade, a lot of burst damage. Ooh, Riptide Harass, just so aggravating. Even for a hero like Puck, who's ranged, with some nice defensive capabilities, taking a lot of damage from that. A bit of a lull here after a lot of aggression, but you've always got to keep your eyes on the Wisp as well as the Tiny. Even Chaos Knight can go hunting with this, with the Wisp, and in fact, that might make more sense since Tiny is going to be their hard carry, judging by the laning, judging by the amount of farm he's been given thus far.
Yeah, I mean, he's been given a lot of farm, and that's something which is going to work in their favor. I mean, it's going to be tough for ForLove here, I still feel. I mean, they're looking in a position where they're behind by about 3k gold. Tiny needs to get up that drum, whether it's a Yash or Aghanim Scepter. He's only level 8 at the moment, and he's just not really on par with the Naga Siren, who's finished off that Vanguard. And sorry, not Vanguard, he's gone Perseverance, so he's going for the Lincoln Sphere, going purely for that damage block and survivability. Damage can come from other sources. They've got Sven, Nature's Prophet, and Queen of Pain.
Oh, Lina wants to burst down the Naga, drops the ult, the Orbs flies in, not going to connect. Wisp has relocated down towards the bottom lane for this. Tiny is not with her, however. CK not here as well, and I think they're just going to die without those two bangers able to provide the fight. Now the CK comes in, looking to do some damage. Naga is going to go down, but CK is probably overextended, uses the ult, but doesn't matter. Stun will clean that up. Now the Tiny finally joins the fight, perhaps worried about, oh, what a phase shift, dodging the Queen of Pain ult, trying to live, but blinking and screaming and cleaning up nonetheless. Now the Avalanche could be coming. Tiny, toss to start, Tether stun to follow, needs that Avalanche. Stormbolt finds the Sven. In fact, Queen of Pain wanding up, switching to the entrance. Triple kill for Iwa. It's sensational play, really, and turning that one around, killing off the Tiny. A big win for Flash.
Yeah, I mean, Tiny in the last couple of minutes has picked up 2 quick deaths, and any hope he had of being that big right-clicking hero with the big physical damage, even with his whistle in the game, is slowly being shattered. I mean, he needs to get those items up. With all that free farm, he's still only on 50 creep kills. We're looking at past the 12-minute mark. That's not where you want to be, considering you had a completely empty lane for a good 5 or 6 minutes. And Flash, I mean, they're looking to turn victories into bigger victories as they're trying to get this tier 1 tower at bottom. And with that, they're getting even further ahead, getting more and more farm for all their heroes.
I just gotta say, Flash really know how to make good use of this Disruptor. That is at least the second TP, and then I've immediately seen get glimpsed back to base. Puck even tried to phase shift, but didn't matter. Was sent back. They pick up the tier 1 off of that. Now 3 heroes gonna back off, look to rotate maybe towards mid. Glimpse just so good, but it's only certain teams which seem to be comfortable with Disruptor, and Flash is definitely a team. We saw them use this in their previous series off against NA, and they're using it again today. Very effective start. Not just for the team, but also for... Oh, interesting. Naga has picked up a Quelling Blade. Kind of weird to see her go back for that, but...
Yeah, I'm curious as... Yeah, let's say a very late Quelling Blade. I'm not quite sure. Not like the Nature's Prophet is on his own team, so...
Maybe worried about getting team sprouted. That's kind of a slap in the face to DSF, if that's the case.
Or maybe just for when you sprout the enemy and Naga Siren can Quelling Blade in to do some right-click damage. I remember seeing a Nature's Prophet Ursa combo back in Dota 1 where they'd actually lane together. You'd sprout them and then Ursa would Quelling Blade in and just start right-clicking away.
Yeah, and then he's blocking the one way out of the sprout as well. So
yeah.
Works kind of well in that regard. Iwa, level 10, getting close to level 11, and that ult is really going to hurt. Tiny gets caught out top, and Sven pops the ult. Oh man, they're gonna kill off the Tiny with ease. Support Sven doing work at this point. Smoke of Deceit is there. Could look to try and find this Wisp. Maybe they'll just push instead. Looks like that'll be their choice. 4 heroes top, 1 bottom. And FL really on the back foot. Flash just making all the right decisions, and well, not all the right decisions, but enough right decisions really to keep on not only finding these kills, but then turning them into something a little bit more.
Yeah,
we're gonna see another glimpse.
Oh, this Puck. Is he going home? Oh, I don't think he got it off. I don't think he actually had enough mana for it. Wisp is all alone, though. Wisp is going to... Probably... Yeah, Wisp is dead, so this is not looking good for ForLove.
Yeah, not really. There's the ult from Chaos Knight, but it's just not really that effective at level 1. Needs to hit level 11. Stun onto the Queen of Pain, as well as that Laguna Blade. They are tired of her shenanigans. Hansi sprouted up. Time for Naga to eat her way in, except she's not here. She's pushing bottom. Double kill, and now the Tiny comes in. Clean up in aisle 3, and they even want this Prophet who's getting close to a mech. Really would have helped to have that there. A little bit of chit-chat from the Chinese spectators. KS just ignoring it all, pushing that bottom lane. Lincoln Sphere is coming, and it's coming soon. And I feel with the kind of game we're having, Lincoln Sphere is going to be very effective.
Yeah, League Sphere against some of these heroes. I mean, the initiation's coming from the Chaos Knight, basically. He's the one who's going to go charging in with the stun. Nagasara can essentially solo push with this Lincoln Sphere if she wants to, and just be a complete pest, split pushing all over the map. I mean, we've already just seen where the trio or the other 4 heroes group up at top, they kill the Tiny, they take a team fight. Even without this Nagasara ultimate, if Nagasara never gets ganked, just pop the ultimate TP out. One of the most annoying heroes in the game to gank.
Absolutely. A little bit under-leveled, though, I have to say. Normally we'd expect to see level 11 at this point with the kind of lane she had, but the supports were in her lane a lot. Earlier on, in the first 5 to 10 minutes or so, there was a lot of ganking on the puck, a lot of pushing with that tri-lane, so I like how they're just giving her levels right now, not expecting Chaos to fight with the team. Naga is a lot like Dragon Knight, where your hero is just... the power curve really peaks once you hit 16. When you get that level 3 ult, you have the 1 minute cooldown to sleep, similar to having that Frost Breath on the Dragon.
Yeah, and we're going to see him try to get that up nice and fast here. Queen of Pain finds a double damage rune. I mean, Queen of Pain treads Ultimate Orb, double damage rune, 11 and 2. And this is just a hero, it seems, you just can't give
really?
Flash Esports.
Wow.
Yeah. It's AY, I mean, playing fantastic. I don't think was he the one who played the Pudge? I feel like the Pudge was... KS? I think KS played it?
Yeah, I think it was KS. And we have some other... Storman Lee using some sort of a pseudonym. But top lane Tiny gets caught out by that Static Storm. This Disruptor, for me, is just a hero that Flash has been using so well. Glimpse back in. Another kill found. Double for the Disruptor, who has certainly earned a few kills. In comes Chaos Knight, but Queen of Pain is here. And Chaos Knight probably going to die again. Oh, a 2-hero stun. And a Quapple. Cleaning up those kills. Beautiful combo. Flash is just getting a little bit out of control. Again, the aggression, but making it work. They're not diving towers and feeding. They are comboing their spells perfectly.
Yeah, this is, I mean, you look at what Dreams did, where they were being aggressive all over the map, diving for kills. This is kind of the more controlled aggression, which Dreams need to use. Or maybe not so much controlled, they're being very aggressive, but they know what they're up against. They're really timing it and working together well, backing each other up, and they're not overextending. It's not really mistakes, it's position themselves that they're getting these kills and then getting out scot-free. ForLove now have to try and make something happen with this Wisp Tiny, though, very, very soon.
What the hell is this Wisp hoping to accomplish? She's going back to base if she's lucky. She might even get a glimpse back into this and be in a lot of trouble. The Scream comes in, not going to be able to get her in time. Puck jumps in, drops the Dream Coil, and then dies. Ugh. It's ForLove just kind of forcing things and paying for it there.
Yeah, this is looking messy. I mean, ForLove, they kind of look tired. They're looking very, very sloppy. I mean, they just played a long best of 3 against Dreamset, making a lot of mistakes. A lot of heroes just getting caught out of position here. And I mean, against a team like Flash have, with the Nature's Prophet, who can be anywhere on the map, disrupt the Glimpse. I mean, the DPS and mobility of a Queen of Pain. This Flash Esports side will punish every little mistake, and they're punishing the CK at mid lane now as well.
Yeah, speaking of... oh, he almost gets the kill on Sven with the 3-second stun. Avalanche toss. But then the sleep to at least end the engagement, limit the losses. And Naga not going to TP out, is just going to try and run, might end up costing her. Not sure they'll be able to get in range. KS should be able to walk away in the end. So limiting the losses, the casualties for Flash, even when they get a little bit over aggressive, a little bit out of position. They lose 1, they're not losing 3, 4, they're not losing towers either. Like you said, for the most part, very controlled aggression.
Yep, and I mean, from here on out, I mean, ForLove, they've, I mean, despite what their lineup looks like, they've really got to sit back and look for those counter ganks. They can't even be looking to look for ganks themselves. Sure, they've got the CK Wisp, the Wisp Tiny, they've got a Leaner and a Puck, they've got great initiation and great team fight, but they're so far behind in terms of items and against some very high-level heroes that looking for ganks or team fights is not going to go in their favor. They've got to try predict their opponent's movements, try find some of those counter ganks. It's going to be hard for them, but they need to just pick fights where they have the numbers advantage.
I want to point out that Queen of Pain has a 19-minute Scythe of Vice. This, you know, we talked about how Flash sort of reminds us in some ways a little bit of Orange, and they played very well against Orange in the Gosu Cup Asia. And this is something we've seen from Yamate and Mushi when they play heroes like Queen of Pain or Invoker. Just rushing a Scythe of Vice when you have a powerful start, it's already complete on Iwa.
Oh, that is going to hurt, and now we're going to see. It looks like ForLove have managed to find a couple kills. They actually killed the Naga Siren. Naga Siren unable to get out of there. The ultimate was on cooldown. They pick up 2 kills, so there's ForLove. I mean, they find the opening they were looking for. That's what they were after at the bottom lane. So if they can maybe get a tower out of this as well, this will slowly help them sort of creep back into this game.
The tier 2 goes down mid, so a bad engagement bottom, like you said, that sleep being down really cost them. Only level 11 on the Naga. When she gets to 16, life gets a little bit trickier, especially having that Lincoln Sphere. But for now, the sleep is a cooldown where you cannot just throw it out, and then, you have to make sure you get something good out of it. She did help save her team mid, and it wasn't a bad use by any means, but then the cooldown kicks in, and you're not able to TP away when you would like to. Otherwise, you just sleep, and both of your teams survives. Your Prophet doesn't even have to come in. You just TP out and waste a lot of time. But ForLove, I feel, as long as that Naga ult is down, that's when you want to be aggressive. When it's up, a little bit trickier to do so. Like you said, they really can't be forcing fights unless that ult's down.
Yeah, and they don't really want to fight against this Queen of Pain. They want to try find those pickoffs away from Queen of Pain, which is what happened. They killed 2 heroes at bottom. Queen of Pain was mid. Sure, they gave up a tier 2 tower for it, but that's the kind of trades they're going to be getting over the next 5-10 minutes until they get a bit higher level, a bit more farm. It's not so much about catching up. It's just about getting their core items up on their own heroes at this point. They can't really fight without the Aghanim Scepter, without Puck having maybe a Blink Dagger and CK with a BKB. Sure, during that time, Flash will get more farm, but they just need that first tier of items up before they get any chance of winning a fight. And the problem is, Flash get their next tier of items up, they're also going to get themselves an Aegis here.
They do, and I'm a little curious who this goes to. I feel like normally you'd give it to Naga, but with this Queen of Pain having such a kill streak, being so farmed, you probably want to give it to her. And apparently Flash agrees. Queen of Pain picks that up. Bold by the Lina to be warding on this hill, but we'll ward it and then just walk away. Now they jump in mid, and Puck is going to try to orb out. Will he be able to escape? The Stormbolt will follow him and find him! Oh, man. Oh, that hurts. That hurts.
Yeah, that's poor Puck. Unfortunately, you cannot disjoint Stormbolt. You can dodge it with phase shift, but you can't fully disjoint it. If you come back out, it will hit you. You can't windwalk to dodge it either. It's one of those annoying spells, which unfortunately, it's just going to follow you wherever you go.
I feel like that is those are the beginning lyrics to some really bad American country song, but I'm not. Nothing comes to mind, but. Oh, yeah.
Dota 2 parody about Stormbolt following you wherever you go. We'll find that country song, and I'm sure some enthusiastic viewer will make that song.
There's some really cheesy song that if I could sing, I would totally start singing right now. But it's like wherever you will roam or something. I don't know. So that's what I had in mind.
Sounds like a Taylor Swift song.
Exactly. It's Taylor Swift here. That's for sure. Well, here they go, guys. They're going to look to maybe push that top lane. Just sort of pressuring all the lanes right now, but not really committing to a big fight. Gem is up on Disruptor. They haven't actually warded on the high ground, which is going to work out because there's no dire vision, but normally you really would like to see a team ward in this situation. Chaos Knight leading a smoke gang. Kind of interesting that he's not smoke, but he's in the front. Well, will it work? I'm not sure. The smoke not revealed just yet. Queen of Pain is going to run directly into the rest of the enemy team. Should probably kill off the Wisp immediately. And there's a beautiful Static Storm. Dream Coil only on one, only on the spin. Puck is going to take a lot of damage. Somehow that Wisp is not died yet, just being ignored. But everyone else being butchered. 3 heroes dead out of nowhere. The Queen of Pain does use the Aegis, but she's right back and ready to do some more damage. Tiny gets caught. Static Field ruining Tiny, ruining Chaos Knight, as well as just the crushing golden experience lead. Flash looking very strong. I believe Puck bought back, but really what can this Puck do? No Blink Dagger, and just not a hero who does much with a buyback. Anyway, can Flash get racks here? It's looking like they can, and I even wonder, do they back up after this?
Yeah, I mean, the heroes are going to slowly start respawning, but not CK, Wisp, Lina, these are squishy heroes who can't really do much to defend. It's at least one set. They've got Treants to tank. I mean, the Sven ulti's up for now. Nagastar and Illusion. They've got a lot of DPS, and there we go. I mean, Nagastar sends an Illusion top, looks to start pushing out this wave a bit faster, and they may even go for this top set as well.
I thought they wanted to go back in. It seemed like there might have been a little miscommunication there for a second, but in the end, it looks like Iwa will stay and the rest of the team will back off. Still no Blink on the Puck, and I don't know if he's ever going to farm one at this point, but it seems like that's really what they're lacking, is that Blink silence to start up the fight. Without it, we've seen the Static Storm is just ruining these melee heroes, along with, a glimpse. Actually, was that dodged by Phase Shift? I think it was. Do you actually know? That's something that I'm gonna look. If you're in Phase Shift when the glimpse goes off, do you get sent back anyway?
I'm not sure. That would go out to the Luminouses out there, the people who know all those inner mechanics and workings. But
we did the Dota show yesterday. I don't know if it goes out to Luminous. I'm just kidding. We had some technical difficulties though. I love you, Luminous.
Okay.
Oh, Prophet's in some trouble. No, he's not. Actually, he lives and they get sent back. Relocate, not able to do enough there. So, you know, it's also at a point where the Wisp Tiny combo, it's so powerful when you're ahead, but when you're behind, they have so many items. Prophet having this mech and a lot of HP. You can't even find kills that would normally just be guaranteed when you have at least an even footing in the game.
Yeah, it's just not happening so far. And yeah, down this mid-save Raxus, they're going to have to constantly be defending this. It's an uphill battle now for ForLove, and Tiny still trying to build towards his Aghanim Scepter. Wisp is underleveled. He hasn't even got any points in overcharge yet, opting to max out Spirits as well as Tether, so they're not going to be seeing Tiny get that additional attack speed just yet. It's going to have to wait for Wisp to get some more levels. Although Banana still following the Tiny wherever he goes, but for now, I mean, it's a tough position for ForLove to be in.
I just want to point out, KS dropped his Lincoln Sphere onto the ground so that his Arcane Boots would give him a little bit more mana. I'm all for being efficient, but that's a little bit bold, man. If someone shows up and kills that Lincoln Sphere when it's on the ground, oh my goodness. But just accruing those little advantages here and there. So yeah, Flash, I mean, like you said, just in a position now where it's going to be so hard for ForLove to even find openings. The Naga by herself can pretty much keep two lanes constantly pushed in. Illusions in one lane, Hero in the other. If you show up to gank her, she's probably just going to get the sleep off and live.
Yeah, I mean, if sleep's not on cooldown, then it's a pretty straightforward kill for them. Sorry, if it's not, it's a pretty straightforward escape. I mean, and it's a 60-second cooldown now that he's maxed it out. It's just such an annoying hero to verse. And when you've already lost one set of Raxes, this split push from Naga Siren, I don't know how they deal with it. I mean, Radiant's Lincoln's not like the super pushing build, but he's tanky. He's got the Lincoln Sphere to maybe dodge a Chaos Knight stun, so there's no way they can really initiate in and prevent him from getting that ultimate off. He's always going to have that get out of jail free card. And, I mean, they can split push if they want, or they can just decide, let's just group up. That'll work out better for us. As Naga Siren looking to buy another big item now, maybe, as this is kind of a decisive position. Queen of Pain, even with a BKB, I mean, all these items, this next tier of items, are pretty much completed for Flash.
It's actually a double BKB. The Prophet has one as well, and if you look at this Dire squad, it's a Tiny who's trying to go for that DPS carry build. He doesn't even have the Aghanims complete yet. So it is really about the nukes for this squad, and having two BKBs on heroes like that, plus the Lincolns on the Naga having the ult as the get out of jail free card, the BKBs and the mech, finding kills is gonna be nigh impossible. It's like you said, it's a virtually unwinnable game. It's not completely over for ForLove, but their posture in the game, they can't leave the base. There's aggressive wards up. The next Roshan is almost certainly going to flash if the game even goes that long. Sometimes we see a team one racks down and you go, oh, this team is completely in this game. It's almost not even an issue that they lost the racks, but this is a game where it feels like it's not completely over, but Flash are going to have to make some serious mental errors to throw this one away.
Yeah, I mean, if they play this smart, make the right decisions, it should be theirs, but hey, it's Dota, anything can happen, and nothing's a given, really, from the views of this game, but for now, it's ForLove. I mean, they just haven't got even that first level of items up. I mean, I don't know, Tiny doesn't even have his Ag Scepter, Wisp is trying to build a mech, Chaos Knight trying to build a BKB, and yeah, Puck, no Blink Dagger anywhere in sight.
And it's just the split push. We talked about the Naga's push, of course. Don't forget, there's a Prophet in this game. He went for the Maelstrom, probably the best split pushing item in the game for Prophet. You could maybe argue about Necro 3 as well. But just really going to allow you to mow down the towers. They rotate top to try and deal with him, but meanwhile, bottom lane, they're quickly chewing through the racks. 4-hero Dream Coil with the sleep, immediately turning the initiation around. They can set up a Queen of Pain ult and a Scythe of Vice. Ult is only going to hit on the Wisp, not really the best ult, but blinking in, wants to kill this Wisp, diving for that. Scythe onto the Lina. Wisp should die, Wisp will die, and now turning the attention back to the Lina. 2 heroes dead. Disruptor fell in the middle of this, but now the Prophet with the BKB pop, and CK normally can terrify this Prophet. Prophet doesn't care. Prophet continues to fight. Triple for that Prophet with that big scepter, going for the Ultra. He wants it. He will not get it because Iwa wants another kill, padding his own stats out. 16-2-10. And at this point, the GGs are called Flash over a kill per minute as a team. 49 kills for this game in 29 minutes. Flash got off to such an aggressive start and just never looked back.
Well, Flash Esports are quickly becoming one of my favorite teams to watch. They're so entertaining, they're so aggressive, and it's not foolish play of theirs. They're winning games, and they're winning games pretty convincingly. I mean, the only recent game they've lost was to Orange in that GoDz Cup finals that I can remember, and they're looking really strong. They won the GEST Dota 2 qualifier as well that they played in, and here they are, taking down one of China's sort of fairly well-known teams in Dota 2, of course, but ForLove. They go down in game number 1. There will be 2 more games. ForLove have been in this position against Dreams, losing the first game of the series, then did come back to win the next 2. So Flash, they can't get complacent here.
Yeah, for anybody who is enjoying Flash's gameplay, and something that you should really do for all the teams you support, it's actually very important for sponsors, just to show that the teams have a big following. But if you're enjoying Flash, you can follow them, twitter.com/flash_esports. I believe on Facebook, it's facebook.com, just Flash Esports, all one word for that. So that's 2 ways to show your support for the team, show them some love. They are bringing great games to the table. Again, it's a team that doesn't just win, but they do so in pretty exciting and interesting picks. I love the Disruptor, and one of these rare games where support Sven actually worked. So give them credit for that, because not many teams can make support Sven work. I feel he has one of the worst win rates of support heroes. But that does it for game 1. This is Flash versus ForLove, G1 League Qualifier action. Flash on the cusp of making it into the main event. If they can win this game 2, they will be playing in the main event, where 52,000 US dollars of prize money will be at stake. If ForLove can take game 2, then we head to a game 3. Let's stay tuned, find out who's going to move on, and who goes not home, but gets knocked down into that loser's brag and has one last chance to advance. You're watching the G1 League Qualifiers. I am LD and he is GoDz. Together we are David and David, and we'll be back soon with game number 2.